So the fact that I'm making this right now, let me back up. The fact that I want to make this right now means that this whole thing has been going on for probably as long as I've known it's going to happen. Like, let's say a month and a half now. I mean, it's always been on the imminent future. It's sort of the inevitability when you're working, even not as a full-time creative, but when you're working in the freelancing field, to know when you're reaching an ultimatum. So I'm aware, and I've been aware, that I'm going to be in the situation that I'm in right now. And the fact that I'm filming part of this video means one of two things: that either my options have narrowed to the point where I see no other alternative, or whatever momentum that I've given to the work that I'm doing has resulted in this as an inevitability. That without even thinking that I'd be here, I've been shooting video again. So it's an interesting coincidence in that regard. And I'd prefer to think of the latter in those two, right? The first one seems to be a little disingenuous, or that I'm not really a part of what's going on. And the second seems to take more of an angle where the creative work that is being put in your time off, or in one's time off, it's more than just the work that that one would be working on, right? It's part of a larger body. It's part of this larger karmic structure, if you will. And creating the environment for oneself is, by and large, the way, shape, and form that an artist will recognize the work and the longevity and the shape and form of something from the inside, rather than having somebody validate it from the outside. And I do think that those are both equally important, to have the internal and external viewpoints, the subject and object relationship of what's actually going on. And then it sort of becomes the tipping point of the soul of the artist as to what their relationship with that process and their work is. So I think I can give a couple examples of this. That there's the idea of until this, and when this is the case, this will also be the case. And as for myself, even though I'm working on the craft and I'm working on projects, there seems to be this hesitation of committing to the idea and committing to the process. And it's certainly important to be aware of the deliverables, not the right word, the tangible quality of your work. We know, as we're not just artists, we're also consumers, right? That we're aware of the things that we like, and we're aware of the bar that is set for something sounding like it belongs in the contemporary space. And that doesn't have anything to do with, it doesn't have anything to do with the way that something sounds. And by that I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with the musical contents, right? That we're ever moving in directions of different taste. And things will come and things will go. The genre of the music doesn't matter. Some things might be easier to get the external validation from, but whatever you're making as an artist, whatever I'm making as an artist is just what I'm making. But it does have to do with the restedness of the artist, the centeredness, the angle of output. And we do lots of things to make that dynamic feel more comfortable and feel more real, to aid in the confidence of our output, right? We wear cool clothes, we say cool things, we go see cool films, we listen to cool records. The novelty and the edge has a lot to do with it, with the certainty of what you're doing. It's all thwarted by circumstance. That a lot of people will say things don't happen on accident. I don't know if that's entirely true, but that things are more likely to happen if they are not accidents. On the off chance that there are only accidents, then this is not the case. But let's consider the fact that accidents happen less often than if effort and energy is put towards a certain direction. And then let's say circumstance is something like the meeting point of that effort and the energy and the point at which the decisions in your life have met where you currently are, right? It's the limit of where we exist as directed by our propelled creative intentions and desires, like as seen through the lens that is our taste and is the amalgamation of the work that we've done considering us as a person. Or maybe more simply put, life meets us where we're at. And they say that we work better when we're under deadlines for a number of reasons, right? That it takes this pressure of expectation off of us, and it becomes more about the inevitable product at the end of the process rather than the process itself. So yes, the process is exceptionally important, but when push comes to shove, there's nothing but what's out there. Like there's nothing but the result of the thing that I've decided to do. And the result of that thing stretches far. The result of that thing stretches to the point at which I'm aware that it stretches to. So if I want to work on something for me and I do that, then that's what I'm going to get. That's not quite it though. Like unless there's some urgency to the thing that I make, that I make, and the thing that I like to make with other people, that idea just stays as far as it's conceived, which isn't a bad thing by any means, because accidents do happen. And that's awesome that they do, because that's how you get gigs, you know? Accidents are showing up to do the work, and something you didn't expect came out of it. Because now more than ever, it's more important than ever to see the part of myself that wants to do the work. I don't know, it's something in the last year, and it's probably AI, like almost certainly that's what it is. Like, because the work has gotten to be, it's interesting that the work has gotten easier to do. It's been getting easier to do, right? Like we've gone from getting it right on the first take to being able to splice tape together, to being able to edit music in some sort of software, and then to be able to be a bad singer and still make records, and to be able to use these libraries of content and to be able to reference previous music. And now it's to this point where there's the option of not doing it. There's the option of not doing the work. Like until that, like that bubble burst, at least in my head, it's always been about being able to create something at the quality, at the absolute highest caliber of human quality. And that means being able to do everything, right? The stigma of being a musician in contemporary time means that you have to be able to be an excellent performer, excellent writer. You have to have something that's well worth saying. You have to be able to produce it, to be able to mix it, to be able to master it, to be able to release it, to promote it, to do everything. This completely overwhelming, it's not overwhelming because it's all within reason. Like you can do all of it. There's plenty of people that do it. But that work was sort of, and it's like, am I thankful that people are falling off the map because of AI music? Like, I don't know. It's got me making this video right now, which is pretty sweet. That it, like, something seems to have gone full circle, and it's put value, at least in my world, because I like to do the work, it's put the value back on the work itself. Maybe it's been the 10 years that have kind of happened in between when I've tried this last and right now, of self-improvement and practicing and and trying to become more of a performer rather than a writer, and trying to addressing these shortcomings in my artistry, and looking the content in the face and asking myself, is this, like, do I like this? Does this sound like the music that I like to listen to in terms of the quality of output? In terms of the quality of output, does it hit the same way? And more I find myself saying, yeah, it does. This is great. I love what I'm doing. I loved what I did before, but it never really, but whatever. But nothing's changed about the fact that we still want and have this strange human thing about us to be entertained. It's one of the joys of life, right? That we can experience the worldview of another, right? We're empathetic creatures to a large degree, and we really value the perspective of somebody else and how that they're able to create something that we're able to relate to, even though they're in a different place and have different world experiences than we are. So that part hasn't gone anywhere. But what has gone somewhere, so this hasn't changed at the same time. The part that hasn't changed is that idea of empathy where, I'm doing a bad job at this. Let's split it into two camps of ideas, right? That there's people that do care about human experiences, and then there's people that consume for the sake of let's call it disassociation, right? And we flip-flop, we do both of those things, and people's value systems fall into different things at different times, right? I like escape. I'll watch trash, bro. It's great. Yeah, trash is awesome. But I value trash that's made by people. I do. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. Right? So for the people that value human experiences, I feel like our bar has gotten not lower, but the bar has become less about I want to be dazzled by the way that humans interface with technology and how clean and how advanced can we make things sound. And instead, the appeal is becoming more and more about, or not just like the human connection that's embedded inside of the art. Yeah. So our tastes and our interests are broadening, and we are becoming more empathetic because there's this new value that's put on things that are made by people. And for a certain group of the population, because we are seeking out things that are made by people, we are more inclined to be open to a wider array of music, of art, of film, of conversation, of food, of, wish I could think of more interfaces, architecture, whatever. You have mediums in which that we interface with other humans, and really getting down to the point that it is the human experience to the degree of taste that the audience and the artist meet at. To me, that feels more forgiving. It feels okay to let the things that aren't so perfect out. It feels okay to, by any means necessary, right, get the thing out there, because it doesn't have to be perfect. And it never had to be perfect. But for some reason, I thought that it did. And that's old news, That's old news.